Yes, people. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. We're here in a fresh, new location. Look at this backdrop behind us. We're in Free Island, the new spot here in the city centre of the town, just a stone's throw away from St James's Park. And we're here upon the new season beginning in just a few days' time, where if you're looking for somewhere to watch the match this Sunday, then head on down to Freight Island. Just around the corner from St James's Park, opposite the gate, the new venue, the new place to be in the heart of Newcastle. And they will be showing the Newcastle United live games here on the big screens throughout the place, and it's a lovely little spot, isn't it, Kay? With some fantastic paints.
Absolutely incredible. Got the Jubles now. We're a big fan of the Jubles.
You can't beat the Jubles. We'll cheers to the Jubles. And we'll cheers to a new season with our German manager. There's plenty to talk about in this show. We've got transfer news and, of course, our pre-season predictions. Let us know in the comments how you think Newcastle will get on this year, and, of course, who will win the Premier League and who will win the Cups. But again, Free Island here in Newcastle. They've got a whole host of events coming on throughout the week from Thursday to Sunday, and loads of areas accessible for kids all the way to adults to enjoy those delicious paints, and loads of food vendors as well for you to enjoy. Reet. How were then? Because it's been a mental summer, as usual. But even for Newcastle United standards, it's been more dramatic and more of a circus than ever before. The manager's left. The captain's left. The star players in Sandro and Anthony Gordon have left. And we've replaced them with a bunch of teenagers. But I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine.
Oh, yeah, that's a well-worked plan.
It's going to be all right, aren't we?
That's what everyone does, isn't it?
We're going to be all right, aren't we? Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But the news that should come out this evening in the next few hours or so is that Dedic, the right back from Benfica, will have signed for the club. It's looking like a 4-year contract for him on a £29.5 million deal. First of all, Keg, on that, the Bosnian fullback coming in. Trippier left, huge void in the dressing room there, not only in terms of his quality, but his leadership to the lads. Dedic coming in, it's a player that new manager Matthias Yiza knows very well, worked with him at Salzburg in the past. He recommended him. It's his first signing. What do you make of it?
That point there is what I'm optimistic about, that it's a Yiza signing. Like, I feel like I don't even know who's been signing off on these previous signings, because you know Eddie Howe had one foot out the door and Yiza wasn't in yet. So literally who was approving? Like, that was like four signings before Yiza even got through the door. So, like, you don't know if he approved any of these, if he even likes any of them. But he's here now, and he's kind of got to make do with Eddie Howe's team and these signings that were made earlier in the window before he came. But yeah, Dedic is obviously one of his guys. He's worked with him before, so it seems like he definitely signed off on it. And he obviously knows him well, knows how to get the best out of him. Like, we know he can play as a left back as well, so he's versatile, similar to Tino Livramento. So yeah, if he signed off on it and he knows exactly what his strengths and weaknesses are and how to use them, then that's a big thumbs up from me. But obviously, as you said as well, Trippier's gone, and we've just got zero fullback depth. Even if you look at the left back, like, you've got Hall at right back, you've got Tino. That's about it. You've got a couple of young'uns, obviously Leo Shahar's breaking through, and you've got both the Mileys that can play right back, but I don't want to see Lewis Miley playing right back. So the more depth that we've got, the better. I mean, I'm happy that it's a body. It's a number. I don't really care who he is.
Somebody.
It doesn't matter who he is. It's a number. It's a body through the door, and that's great. So, yeah, we're beefing up a position where we're desperate for depth, and we know Tino's got his injury problems, so let's face it, he's probably going to play a lot of football. So, yeah, the fact that he's versatile and he's last signing, so yeah, I'm really happy with this.
He's 23, which is young, but it's old for us, because everyone else is literally 18 to 20. And to be fair, speaking to people yesterday in the press conference, they were saying, Dedic is very mature for his age. He's played a lot of football for his age, racked up international caps and Champions League performances for Benfica and Salzburg. So at least he's bringing a bit more to the dressing room, where we have signed Ster, who looks like a great player, young talent, but he's played one season at Ajax. We have signed Bamba, who's played one season at Monaco. Toure for £43 million, one good season in the Bundesliga for Hoffenheim. So there's pressure on those larger soldiers, but at least with Dedic coming in, he's got a bit more in the game, where he's got more experience.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, like 23, he's young. There's a lot of players that haven't even made it yet at 23, and everyone's like, oh, that he's young, he's got time, he'll break through. But yeah, like we're relying on 22, 23, 24-year-olds to kind of take leadership roles in our squad.
We've faced captains soon.
I say, like nearly all of the signings. I think how old's Hornacek? He's 23, 24, isn't he? So yeah, he's one of the older signings that we've made, and you've got 3 20-year-olds and an 18-year-old. So yeah, 23 years old, you're becoming senior now. So yeah, we need these bodies to the door. Like say, all of these players that you've just mentioned, the ones that came before them, they're all really inexperienced. From what I read, Elijah Bamba has only played one 90-minute game in his senior career.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I read that when we first signed him. Like in his senior career, he's played 90 minutes once.
I can tell that over the last weekend.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit.
He struggled a bit. He's very raw. We've got to give him time, like a lot of the young signings.
I think all of them, yeah, we've got to give all of them time. Like we don't really know a whole lot about them. That untapped territory in some ways. Like they might surprise a lot of people. Like even as Newcastle fans, like we don't really know a whole lot about them. Like, but the rest of the league won't either. So that could be a good thing. But yeah, patience is going to be a virtue here. We're going to have to be really, really patient with some of these kids. Bamba, like you say, like he hasn't really got off to the best foot so far in pre-season. But time will be telling. Like they're so young and so inexperienced.
Does that worry you how young they are then, and the lack of competitive matches that they've racked up on their CV so far, considering it's a big step up to the Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think any player, like how many seniors have you seen come in the Premier League? Like think of Man United and Chelsea over the years, like Maratas and Higuains and people like that. Like senior players labelled world-class players have come to the Premier League and struggled.
Yeah.
Di Maria. So I think the Premier League is the best league in the world for me, the fastest, the most physical. So I think anyone has to be given like a bit of leeway. I think especially when you're younger, you've never played in the Premier League before, you should be allowed a little bit of time to bleed in. But when you're teenagers, you're 20 at best, like say, so little experience, one season wonders in 2 of them, well, 3 of them pretty much, like so young. So yeah, it's a worry. But yeah, we are going to have to be so patient. I think the whole season is going to be built on patience because Yiza as well, 38 years old. Again, never managed in the Premier League before. Like so, it's going to be a huge learning curve. It's going to be a transitional phase for us for, I'd maybe say 2 to maybe 3 years. So never mind be 26, 27. What's 27, 28 going to be? Like it's the future is so, I almost said black and white at the minute, but it is. It's a bit grey right now because we really, really don't know what we're going to get. No. Like between the manager, the players, those that have left, those need to step up. Like Miley's, Tino's, Halls. Like how are these guys going to develop? Because you now need to be our senior players. Like a lot's changed, like from the top bottom.
Well, I was speaking to Dan Byrne yesterday in the press conference after that 1-1 draw with Strasbourg and losing on pens, and he was saying it's going to be that season of unknowns. But
and a new captain as well.
He said, be patient, back the new manager, we're ready for it, and we're going to give our all. And Dan did speak really well as our new captain. The obvious choice, really wasn't he? The only choice for me.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll talk Yiza in a minute. But on that, signing the unknown, signing the up-and-coming players, the young lads, this time last year, we would have been doing a podcast saying, hey, isn't it great that we've signed Ramsey from Villa because he's Premier League proven. We've signed Elanga from Forest. He had a great season. He got 11 assists, whatever it was.
Yiza.
So Yiza, who scored 19 goals for Brentford, didn't work out. So maybe this new approach will work out. We absolutely hope so. Dedic is through the door. He's done. There's still talk of at least 2 to 3 more signings in the last fortnight of the window.
At least.
If you weren't Keg Wilson, you are Ross Wilson. What would your signing next be then? What we're looking at? Because it has to be Bruno's replacement, surely.
There's one name in my mind, whether it's in the club's mind, you don't know, and it has been a name that's been linked with us quite a few times. I don't know the reliable sources or not, so I don't know if there's any kind of concrete interest. But the guy for me would be Angelo Stella. I think because he can play that deeper role, but again, he's 25, which is still quite young. But in terms of like football, it's senior, and especially in our squad, he's a senior. So 25 years old, he's a great age. He's got that level of experience with the kind of youth as well. German connection. So yeah, he's got the German connection with Yiza. And yeah, I think he's just that midfield versatile role. I think he's perfect. He's got about a 35 million buyout clause as well, so he's not too expensive.
Why haven't we already done that?
That's the clause. That's
what
I'm waiting for. Every time I check my phone, I'm waiting on a breaking news announcement of saying Newcastle's triggered the clause, because I've been waiting on this for about 3 weeks. So that's why he's the number one name on my mind, because I'm still in disbelief that we haven't even got it done yet. But yeah, he's the one for me. I think like I say, he brings everything: the youth and experience, the German connection. the position. It's perfect Bruno replacement. He's a little bit versatile as well, so he can sit deeper and allow Sturs and people to get a little bit further forward. He's my top choice.
Yeah, still that would be perfect. Like you said, it feels like we might be having that sort of German takeover. Obviously, Malik Chow was one of the captains in pre-season. We now know it's Byrne and Joelinton. We also have Voltemada, our record signer's a German. The manager's German. He's brought in Dedic, who's Bosnian, but he's worked with him in the German league before. So if it is a stiller, if it is we're going for that sort of Red Bull connection from those clubs there, then it makes sense. And if the valuation is that low, the clause is there, then you can see why fans are frustrated and the lack of movement this summer, why everything's so slow, why signings haven't been made yet. Because I was still hearing yesterday in the media suite, the club are very bullish that signings will be made in the next fortnight and we will be in a strong position to start the Premier League season. Well, the season starts in just a few days' time against Liverpool, and what we've seen so far in the last few weeks, and we don't want to be harsh on Yiza, he's literally had a couple of weeks with the lads, we are miles off it.
Oh, yeah.
Miles off it.
Absolutely.
Nowhere near ready.
I mean, it couldn't really come as a shock to anyone, really. If anyone thought that we're going to come out, even like Valencia, which was 5 days or something after he joined.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to implement his style within that amount of time with no signings.
That was it, though. I was there in Valencia in the Mestalla, and people were saying, "Hey, mate, where's this pressing? Where's this intensity we've seen in the training ground videos?"
Give the lad a break.
That's his mate's 40 degrees in the van. He's been with him 2 days. So give him a chance, man.
Literally.
Give him a chance.
He's got a bunch of players who he's probably never heard of Sean Sturr before. He's probably like, who's this kid? He's got no idea who any of these players are. No. You need to give him time, man. And like I said, 2-3 years to get his own signings through the door. Like he seems to be to have his own style. I almost called him stubborn, but maybe he's not in this. I think Eddie Howe was stubborn. I think he had a style and he stuck to it. He had plan A and nothing else.
That was it.
I think Yiza seems to have a few different ideas, which is good. I think he's creative, but at least he's got a one main philosophy. So he's got to put that in, and he's got to have the players to build around us. Does Jacob Murphy fit his style? Does any of the others? Does he even like any of the players?
Willick.
Do any of these do what he wants to do? So for me, it's gonna take maybe 3 years, a few transfer windows to get players out. Players that he doesn't want there, players that don't fit his system, and replace them with players that he does want, that are his players. Like I say, that's why I'm excited about Dedic. I don't really know a lot about him. Got to be honest, I haven't seen his game too many times, so I've got no idea what kind of player that he is, but what I do like is the connection, that he knows them, that he's worked with them before and he's bringing them back. That tells you that you've got to back our manager. If our manager wants this lad because he's got an experience, got a past with them, that he likes them, that he knows what to do with them, mint. I'm buzzing with that. So we've just got to give him time, allow him to make his own signings, adjust his own philosophy, which is going to take time. It's not going to take 5 days. In the where were we? The training, the camp thing.
La Manga,
that's the fella. You can't just expect him to get into La Manga on Sunday and be playing world class football on Friday.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
It's going to take time. Do you think we're going to have enough patience, not just from a fan base, but also from the owners? Are they going to expect? Because, to be honest, I thought Eddie Howe's time was up. It was right that there was a change. Everything had gone very stale. But he did overachieve, and everything did happen very quickly in those first few years. It's now a switch in mentality where everyone's going to have to be a bit more lenient and accept that this is a transition now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fans are the worst culprits in that, to be honest with you. I think a lot of fans just don't have patience. I think if something doesn't work out one time, they say already criticising them against Valencia. Where's the press? Are you taking the mick? A lot of fans are really, really quick to jump down anyone's throats, whether it's a new signing, a manager, or an owner, or whatever it is. If things don't go well in game one, sometimes that's it. I think back to Emil Kraft. When Emil Kraft made his first game, he had a bad game, and he couldn't live that down for 5 years. Longer? How long was Kraft? He was here for 7 years. I think we signed him in 2019. He only just left this summer, and people still hate him because of that game against Norwich. got done over by a team who put you in one game, and that was it. Right, that's it. We're going to hate him for the next 7 years.
I never play him again.
So fans just don't really have a lot of patience in general. I'm not just talking about Newcastle fans, but
the game
fans in general. Yeah, there's no time or patience with fans. Fans want results immediately. I think with the club, they had that patience with Eddie Howe. I think we all could say that we needed a fresh start. There was the Eddie Howe lovers, and I get that. I was one myself. I'm sure we all were at one point. I know things kind of went a little bit sour towards the end of the season, but I think we could all say that a fresh start was probably a good thing. But the owners wanted him, and they actually convinced them to stay. Like Eddie Howe told them a couple of weeks before he left that he wanted to leave, and they said, "No, we don't want you to leave. We're confident in you going forward." And it was Eddie Howe's decision ultimately to leave again. So the owners have got patience. Whether too much maybe is the problem. Maybe they should have let Eddie Howe go a little bit earlier.
Probably after that Derby defeat.
Yeah.
Probably after when we're spiraling. You know, like there was that feeling amongst certain sections that. Is it time for a refresh? You know, you've seen that this summer how much of a reset there's been with all the players leaving, and it would have made sense to throw the manager in that mix. And the whole club has literally started from scratch now. It feels like that Saudi takeover from nearly 5 years ago. It's all beginning again right now. You know, with the Yiza coming in with these young lads, and we were joking like even at Gateshead when Stu was playing so well. Thinking, he's brilliant. Can't wait to start Arsenal. 3 years' time, selling for 100 million Arsenal. That's going to be class, that. And that's probably what we need to get our head around now, is to not get attached.
Yeah, that's the model, isn't it?
To players, and that is the model. That's because of the financial restrictions in place. That is where we are, where you're bringing these players for 20, 30 million. You sell them on 80 to 100, and you keep doing that. What Brighton do, what these other clubs do. And, you know, it's not just us. We've seen Aston Villa have to do that this summer, selling Morgan Rogers, selling Yuri Tielemans, selling Lucas Digne, even with Champions League football. You know, so
a lot of players to Tottenham sell.
Well, exactly. They're the big six, though. So
I just matter them.
I play by the rules, them, do they? If you're from London and you're making money, you don't have to do that, do you? But little old Newcastle have to flog all the best players. But on Yiza then, bit of an unknown as well. 38 years old. Did really well at Salzburg, won back-to-back Bundesligas there. Did well at Saudi, winning a couple of Asian Champions Leagues. What I've seen of him so far is impressive. His attitude, his character, his personality, his philosophy. But on the pitch, I have been disappointed. The performances I have seen from him in Valencia, in Edinburgh, at St James's over the last weekend haven't been there. But the owners have to back him with the right players to play his style of play. Yeah. But let's get into it then, Keg, with those predictions. First of all, with Newcastle, before we talk about who's going to win the Prem and all that, we're going to do Newcastle's predictions. I'll start us off, and this could change on the hour, by the hour, by the signings. Because if we did bring in another 3 to 4 players, this would improve. But as it stands, I've actually I would say optimistic. I've said that Newcastle will finish 8th this year. I will say that it'll be one or the other. Newcastle, for me, I don't think will finish 12th or 13th and have an okay season. It is going to be one hell of a roller coaster. It's either going to be we shock everybody, the youngsters perform so well that they get 6th, 7th, 8th and get European football, or we're just as terrible as the likes of TalkSport would like to tell us that we will be, and we'll get relegated. It'll be one or the other. And I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say it's around that 7th or 8th, and we'll get some form of European football.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be as bad as getting relegated. Like, you see all the talk, and you see, like, obviously, we've lost a lot of our best players and our manager. It's a big transitional period. I think it's just a massive unknown at the minute. I think it's really, really hard to put your finger on what Newcastle are going to do, because, like I say, we don't really know a whole lot about any of our new players, about the manager. What we do know is that we've lost a lot of our key players. So are any of these new signings going to be good? Or are they going to be replacements for anyone we've lost? Like, it is just a massive grey period for me. So I'm not, like I say, I'm not really optimistic about this season, because I think it is just a time to be patient. I think it's going to take a couple of years for us to, like, really get our feet under the table. Like, if you think, like, when Eddie Howe first came, obviously he took over the club at 19th and got a respectable 11th. The very next season he got the Champions League football. Like, it might be that quick, but it might just be this one season where mid-table, I suppose, depending on the style of football, depending on how certain players react, how we go by the end of the season, is kind of how I would, like, determine the season. And I think it will be around about mid-table. I certainly, we may end up in a relegation battle at worst, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as actually getting relegated. I think there's definitely 3 teams worse than us. So I'm not worried about relegation. Like, yeah, me worst fear is being in a relegation battle and finishing like 16th, 17th. Like, that can't really be acceptable.
Do you think if we were on that path, though, of a relegation battle, that they would keep the faith in Yiza, or would they then look towards Big Sam? Getting Big
Bloody
Sam,
hope not.
getting Brucey, getting a relegation specialist.
Oh,
Obviously,
God.
not those two, but someone who they'd maybe trust who's got a bit more Premier League pedigree, a bit older, to try and keep you afloat. I would think, no, Yiza, this is your job.
Yeah.
Crack on and try and keep up.
It has to be a time thing. Like, you can't just give in on him after one season. Like, even if it is going that bad, like, I think the club understand that things haven't quite gone our way in the past few years, so you've got to give him time, like Eddie Howe. I say, like, before, everyone wanted Eddie Howe sacked, but they were like, oh, no, he's the man, he'll take it forward. Like, they're the ones that appointed Yiza, so they've got to back him as well. We'll kind of end up in a relegation battle at the end of the season and just flog him off. Like, we've got to see it through. Like, if we get relegated, will he stay? I mean, he might get better job offers. He might want to jump ship as well, like everyone else. So, yeah, I think the club will back him. They'll want as much out of him as what they're seeing. They're seeing the vision. Obviously, being kind of co-owners with Al Ahly, they probably knew exactly what they were getting in him. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't see we're letting him go unless things are going really, really bad. Like, but yeah, I think anything that is going bad, it's not really going to be his fault. Like, it always comes down to the manager. But sometimes it's not just the manager. It's like there's a whole bigger world out there that you kind of just blame the manager for all the time. So yeah, I think we'll get around about mid-table-ish, which I think still probably won't be acceptable in a lot of fans' eyes. But I think at the minute it's kind of the harsh reality that we kind of have to accept that in some ways.
Yeah, I think so. With the amount of players we've lost, how important those players are, and bringing in these unproven lads, we are going to have that patience. But what might save him is a good cup run, mightn't it?
It might do.
Confident of that? So we're seeing
Depends
that
if we draw Man City or not.
Well, that's inevitable. that's a guarantee every time, isn't it?
Every year.
Every single cup.
Guaranteed.
Get in the last few. Oh, there's Man City away. And I've went with that because I've went for Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Quarter-final finish. That's my prediction this time round. And the FA Cup round 5. Because I think it will get to those nitty-gritty stages and you will get a tough tie. And we will get knocked out. Obviously, so far we know that we're starting the Carabao off at home to West Brom.
Yeah,
which, to be fair, they're not a bad championship team.
No,
we'll probably rotate. It's
challenge.
a midweek game, so we'll get through, but it won't be the easiest.
No.
But it does get to that point in the FA Cup where it's like, oh well, then it's Arsenal away or it's City away, and then their squads are just above and beyond what ours is. You know, I mean, they can feel the C team, and we're still struggling to put someone.
And it always was like that's why we've tend to struggle. Like I think people probably don't give us enough credit for when we won the Carabao Cup because it's only the Carabao Cup, it's Mickey Mouse Cup, innit? Fizzy Pop Cup.
The route we had.
That's what I'm saying. Like we took the serious route and we beat all of the competition. We went through. We beat City on the way, didn't we? We beat Chelsea, then Arsenal, then Liverpool. We took things the hard way, but like in other years, like when we've drawn against City, we're just not up to scratch. And I think we've kind of obviously gone backwards with all the sales and stuff. Like we don't have, obviously Isak was a major part of winning the cup. And you go to like, Tonali's, Bruno's, Gordon's, all these, Trippier as well, people forget about because we didn't get any money from him. Like it's just been a massive change. So we're quite clearly not equipped right now to compete with City, with Liverpool, with Arsenal, teams like that, when maybe we thought we were kind of getting there in the past, like with Eddie Howe, we were pushing there. That's where we wanted to be, and we felt like we weren't too far off, winning the cup with the hard route. We thought, this is it. But last season, we drew City, lost, drew City, lost, drew Barcelona, lost. So, which would just, you get these hard draws, like Karabag, nay bother, Bradford City, nay bother. But when you get the big boys, like we're just not ready for it, and I think we're even further behind this year.
Would you say anything different to that sort of quarter-final exit? I'll put us down the Carabao and fifth round the FA Cup. Any further, any less?
No, I can see that. Like maybe fourth round because we'll enter at the third round, won't we? So again, it completely depends on the draw.
Third round, City away, we're at.
Literally, could be third round.
Put out misery. Just get it over and done with.
Third to fifth round, I can see that.
Just focus on staying up, please.
Yeah,
Survival.
probably won't get much forward. It's the quarters after the fifth, isn't it?
Aye.
So yeah, I think fifth round at best, to be perfectly honest with you. I can't really say we're going much further than getting to the quarters. But Carabao, like we've done really, really well over the past few years. Like we lost a final, then we won a final, and we got the semis again last year. So we do really well in the Carabao. But yeah, I think getting down to the last 8. It's okay. Like, do I use the word acceptable? It's probably not, but
depends
like I say,
play, isn't it?
Like I say, it depends on the draw, and it just depends on how we go. Like, it's just going to be that kind of season where you've just got to have the most patience.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments how you think Newcastle will get on this season, league position, and any decent cup runs for you lot. Let's run through the Premier League now then. champions, I'm going to go Arsenal once again. I just look around you now, and we talked about this before on the way here. I think it's such a shame that Newcastle are going through this transitional period because it's a great opportunity to get back into the Champions League. Yeah. When I look around and think, I think Arsenal are streets ahead of everyone now.
They are now,
with their squad depth. City, obviously no Guardiola anymore. Liverpool,
sold Rodri.
No Slot. Obviously before that, no Klopp. Yep, Man City have sold Rodri. They got battered in the Charity Shield on the weekend there. I think it's up for grabs. So in terms of the rest of the positions, because Arsenal for me nailed down champions again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with Bruno in the middle. Less said about that, the better. And then I'll go. I think Chelsea in second. I think Chelsea ahead of City, Liverpool, Man United, and then Villa. But just because I've never really rated Enzo Maresca as a top manager. I think he's a good manager, but I think to get the City job after Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
I'm not sure how long he'll last, and just because he looks like him, he's not the same manager.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea under Xabi Alonso, 1 game a week. They made some really good signings. I think
that's a fair point.
Lacroix from Palace, Rogers,
Danny Welbeck,
some Premier League proven players
Jordan
there.
Henderson.
I'd technically want Danny Welbeck. Tell you that right now. But I think, with them and there, João Pedro's had a really good pre-season. I just think 1 game a week. I think they'll be right up there. And then
that's a fair point. Yeah, I never really thought about 1 game a week. I kind of forgot about that little fact. But
Liverpool, Man U, Villa are all playing Champions European football. Man U haven't strengthened that much this summer. Apart from Santos from Chelsea and stuff. Villa have lost some key players. Liverpool have lost Salah and haven't replaced them, haven't spent enough money. Again, these are early predictions that may change in the last fortnight of the window. But that's my sort of top 6. Would you argue against any of that? Any different team that could win the league for you?
No, like I said, I think Arsenal are streets ahead. I think they finished second, was it 3 years in a row?
Second again.
And then got it over the line, won the league last season and got to the Champions League final. So yeah, they've pushed on massively from last year and they've already strengthened massively and they'll continue to look to strengthen. They were trying to get Vinny Jr., which would have been a mad signing. Obviously, he's signed a new deal, so he hasn't come, but they're looking at other people as well. Like they're still trying to strengthen. And if they do get 1 or 2 more bodies through the door and you think, oh, wait, man, you have a chance.
Settle down.
It's a little bit ridiculous now. So, yeah, I think Arsenal are absolutely running away with it. I think depending on how the end of the window goes, but I think Liverpool might be in a better position than what people might think they are. Like, I know they've lost Salah, but he wasn't really very good last year, was he really? Not really that big of a loss, to be fair. Van Dijk's about 35 now. But they got Araujo out of absolutely nowhere. They got Xhaka. So they've got a couple of good signings in. They've got a couple of good signings like Ronald Araujo from Barcelona on loan. Where did that come from? That was a raj signing.
If they get like a Barcola or
that's
someone,
what I mean. They're looking at Barcola.
If they get Barcola, that's a different story.
That's what I mean. I think they've already kind of done pretty good business as is, but they're pushing for Barcola. I think if they get him and like the likes of like Soboslai's class, if Yiza comes back, does well, like Ekitike, like they've got a really good squad.
Firepower, unfortunately.
Yeah, a couple more signings through the door, and I think things could change for them.
Bottom 3 then. Let's hear it. Who's going to get relegated from the Premier League for you?
I think rock bottom, it's got to be Hull. I think that's probably got to be the obvious answer.
They've got any chance of
finished 6th in the Championship last season, the last place team in the playoffs. Like I can't remember what the stat was. Are they the first 6th place team to ever get promoted?
I think it was.
Or one of the very, very few, or it hasn't happened in a long, long time. I remember seeing some stat around that. But yeah, I mean, that is mad because I think everyone fancied Millwall to come up. They finished 3rd and were really good. They were looking for one of them top 2 spots. So the fact that Millwall didn't come up, then a couple of teams in between, Southampton and Middlesbrough. For the fact Hull came up, I think it's a bit of a mad one. But yeah, I can't really see them being ready for the challenge. Like,
hey, they've got Matty Target though.
Oh, I've got a bit.
Hey, you've got Matty Target.
Should have stopped at Middlesbrough.
They're trying to get Nick Pope. Trying to get the band back together.
Eddie Howe next.
Eddie Howe in December at Hull. There you go. At the Tigers.
Put a bet on that. What the odds be on that?
They'll still get relegated.
Yeah, so even if they're not rock bottom, I reckon they'll be in the bottom 3 quite easily. So yeah, I've got Hull to go down for definite.
All right, same yeah. I've also got, you know what it is? I wanted to put maybe one of the new sides to stay up because you've got Coventry City, who have actually made a couple of good signings. They've got Frank Lampard there, who's got a point to prove after kind of struggling at Chelsea but doing well at Derby before that and getting Coventry promoted. But Ipswich as well, under Gary O'Neill. I think they might surprise a few people. I think they need a couple more signings, but Gary O'Neill's a solid manager.
Yeah. They got was it Inesco? Signed Inesco yesterday?
They need to get Delap back. Get Delap back from Chelsea. He's available. Get him on loan. If they get him back, they could stay up. And then you could see someone like maybe a Fulham going to the mix because
Leeds maybe.
Fulham are just saying all the Real Madrid B players. Leeds, but they've got Trafford. That's a good signing.
Yeah.
But I've went for the 3 promoted sides.
I have as well, I think I've got Leeds as the next one. I've got Leeds finishing around about 17th. But yeah, I just think it is going to be a big ask. I think Ipswich might have the benefit of being in the Premier League like 2 years ago. So any of the players that they still have got, like I know they lost Kieran McKenna and Liam Delap, as you mentioned. But yeah, if there is any players that are still there that were in the Premier League, at least they'll have had that experience. Then they just need to strengthen. As they got Gary O'Neill, who was a good manager. So yeah, I think Ipswich could be a little bit of a surprise package. But in terms of that is probably survival. Like surprise package could be finishing 17th and surviving. Like that's as good as I think it's really going to get for Ipswich. I can't see them like making like a top 10 push on that mental like that.
I've went for a surprise package. For the FA Cup, right? I just went out there for it, and hopefully that could be Yiza's Mags. But as it stands,
could be.
I've went because we've mentioned the Chelseas and that, and no one really hitting it off. I've went for an Everton under Moise or a Forest under Glasner. Because Glasner knows how to win a trophy, right? Glasner's did it with Palace.
Yeah.
I've went for something out of the blue there. Realistically, if you look at it, you'd probably think one of the big boys that aren't going to win the league, like Liverpool, could win the FA Cup. But Areola, the only thing he's ever won is a Cyprus Cup. So I've went for a Forest or an Arse. Forest or an Everton. Well, maybe the Malia Cup. But I've went for Everton or Forest to win the FA Cup. Bit of a surprise one there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Out of the blue, would you say it's more likely to be... Could Maresca save his job by getting Man City the FA Cup? They love the FA Cup, don't they?
Yeah. I think between the FA and Carabao, I can't really put one way around it, but I think City do need something to kind of prove like Maresca's good enough for the job. Like if they finish like 4th or less and don't win any sort of silverware, Maresca could be out the door.
Anyhow for Man City.
And you're going to have the likes of Haaland or someone who might want to leave. So yeah, I think City needs something. I really cannot see them winning the Premier League. So I think any sort of silverware is some sort of like consolation prize at least for Man City. So I think they need to push for something. I would have them probably winning the Carabao. But yeah, for the FA, I'd probably go Liverpool. As for the things that I mentioned before, there might be a bit of an underdog package with, like I said, depending on how the window finishes, the signs that they've got in so far. If Barcola or anyone else comes in, then Liverpool could be a really good threat. And I do like Areola as well. I think he's a good manager.
He's a good manager.
Probably needs a little bit of time to kind of do something with a team like Liverpool, but people thought that about Arne Slot. Like when Klopp left, people thought that'd be a bit of a hangover. They might not even get top 4, but he won the league in his first year. So you never know. Like Areola could come in again if they finish the window strongly. Liverpool could be a little bit of a dark horse.
I've went for the Gunners in the Carabao. I think they've came close lately. Obviously, we knocked them out in the semis 2 years ago. They lost in the final last year. It just feels like what they did with the league might now happen with the League Cup. Because the squad's so good. Like they've got a better B team than a lot of Premier League teams.
When you look at some of the squads, like City, they're not that deep, really, are they?
Nah, but Arsenal's is so deep.
Yeah, it really is.
Arsenal have got like 3 players in every position now that are strong. Maybe apart from the left wing or the striker, but they just know how to get the job done. They know how to score goals, and I just think they could be a threat in the Carabao. I've went for Arsenal, but who cares about that, right? What we care about is the nitty gritty. What we care about is the opening game of the season. Remember, you can watch it here at Freya Island this Sunday. They are open from midday. We have Liverpool. We have Iriola's, Isaac, Munoz, all coming to St James's Park. So you all know what the story is there, right? But Yiza's trying to rewrite that. Is there a chance? I mean, after watching us struggling pre-season, couldn't beat Strasbourg, who Blackburn beat 2-0, by the way, this pre-season. Couldn't beat Leverkusen the day before that. Couldn't beat Everton in Edinburgh. But can we beat Liverpool on Sunday at 4:30?
I think going back a little bit further now, couldn't be Gateshead.
Bristol.
Bristol.
It's a new era, though. Hey, Dedic is going to be playing.
That was Eddie Howe's
Dedic is going to shut down Liverpool, right? He's gonna come right in. We're just pulling the wool over people's eyes here. We're just taking our Newcastle crap this season. Yeah, we're going to come in. We're going to shock people, right? Wissa, double figures. How's that for a bet this season?
What, on Sunday?
Careful. Listen, Liverpool, every time we play them, we know we're in for an entertaining game. We know we're in for goals. But we also know we're in for a bit of heartbreak. Last year, last minute. Remember that? Rio off the bench. Dear me. And it just seems like it's always a tough one to get done. But Areola hasn't impressed a lot of the Scousers so far. They haven't exactly done that well in pre-season.
True.
Yiza, Ekitike, I think, is still injured, isn't he? He had a bad injury for a while, didn't he? So Liverpool have got a lot of working out to do themselves. It's not just Newcastle in this new era. Liverpool are doing the same. Let's hope they don't sign a Barcola or someone like that before Sunday's game. But what chance are you giving us, Keg, at St James Park on Sunday afternoon?
I'd love to be optimistic.
Go on, go for it. Why not?
Oh, well, we're going to win then.
Great.
Probably not, though.
No.
I mean, it was the first home game of last season, wasn't it? I think we knew we were going to have a really big test there. We found ourselves 2-0 down and felt like that was it. But we came back, got back to 2-2, and I thought even the 2-2 would have been fine. You come back 2-0 against a massive team like Liverpool. It's a great result. 2-2, wicked. Then, Rio popped up at the end and got with that defeat that day. But, just... Again, we don't really know what we're going to be. Could you even predict the starting 11?
I was just going to do that.
I've got absolutely no idea who's going to play, what formation we're going to play, what's going to happen. With Liverpool, Barcola or not, they've still got some good players, even though Salah's gone and let's say Van Dijk's about 35. I think they have made some really good signings and they have got some really good squad players. So it depends how they turn up on the day, but they've got to be the favourite, I'd imagine.
Oh, they're definitely the favourite, but I think you'll set up as a 4-2-3-1. His Jawan looked pretty good on Sunday, some great penalty saves. But Hornicek will play.
Yeah, Hornicek.
He's our number. I think Dedic will come in from the start as right back. Otherwise, it would have been a Mason Miley who did all right, to be fair. But it'll be Hornicek, Dedic. I think it'll be Chow and Byrne as your centre-back partnerships. I think that'll be the one. Byrne's the captain now. Hall is your left-back. Absolutely. You'll go with the two in the middle, which is the really interesting one because I do not think Bamba is ready for that.
Yeah.
So Bamba, for me, wouldn't get a start until your West Brom's in the Cup.
Yeah.
Stur has looked
really good
beyond his age, so I would start Sean Stur alongside Louis Miley for a bit of Premier League experience there. Joe Linton's
I was going to say Big Joe, he's out, isn't he?
Big Joe Linton's injured. Little Joe Willock's also injured, who we should have got rid of, in my opinion, was meant to be going to Besiktas. That could be out the window now. So that's your two in midfield, Stur and Miley. Your three behind the striker. Young, absolutely.
Young midfield.
CBB's FC. That's where we're looking at this season. Then you got 4-2, and then the 3 is the interesting one because I think you'll go Alanga. I think you'll go Asula, and then I think you'll go Toure. I think Barnes is a way better impact. So Barnes, when he comes off the bench, tired legs, pops a shot from outside the box. That's his best strength. He can't missing too much in games. And then I think Wissa has to lead the line because Voldemort has looked slow again. He's looked off it. Wissa on Saturday just gone there, looked a bit sharper, a bit more aggressive, had a bit about him. So I think that's the way we'll go. But Liverpool,
so who are you putting in the 10?
I would put Sula in the 10.
Sula and Wissa up top.
Yeah. I think that's what it'll be because Sula can press. Seen it yesterday, he made the mistake, we built up the play and we scored. I think that's the way we're going to have to go. We've got a chance. But we are going to have to be a lot more on the ball than we have been in the last couple of weeks. And it's early doors in the Yiza era, but we're going to have to see a lot more fight and a lot more of the lads up for it in front of a packed out St James Park. And also, it's absolutely worth a mention for Kevin Keegan, what an atmosphere that's going to be on Sunday.
Liverpool legend as well.
Exactly. Both fans should be united in that for King Kev, and some good work being done around the city there in terms of murals and respects being paid. I'm sure the atmosphere will be electric for that one. Very sad news, obviously, a month or so ago. The tributes at St James's Park were amazing. Unbelievable. Ridiculous. And, hopefully that's kind of in the squad as well. I think having Dan Burn as captain, he said it in the press conference yesterday, it's his job to let the lads know what it means to play for this city, club and fan base. And he's going to have to do that, especially for these young lads coming in like Stur and Toure and stuff. That needs to be implemented very quickly in terms of what it means. But listen, I'm going to go for an optimistic... I was going to say 2-1. I'd probably be lying, so I'm going to go for a draw on Sunday. I think it'll be 1-1 or 2-2. Which would be an average start.
So optimistic was a 2-1 win.
A 2-1 win. Crowds on our side. It's a new start for Liverpool as well with Iriola. But realistically, I'm gonna go for a draw.
Right. Okay. So I'm trying not to be like pessimistic.
Okay, think we're going to get beat, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely think we're going to
4-1 Liverpool.
Absolutely think we're going to get beat, but I'm trying to be optimistic and say 2-1 Liverpool. Like that's my optimistic prediction. Like I think if we're lost by a single goal, kind of like what we did last year, if it's a 3-2, 2-1, I don't think that's a bad start. Like obviously, I care more about the play really. Like when there's so much up in the air and you don't know what it's going to be. The wins and losses will kind of be what they'll be, which is a bit of a shit way to look at it. But I'd rather just kind of focus on the performances and see what Yiza is all about, see what the new signings are all about. I want to see Stir, I want to see Toure, Hornacek. I just want to see how we get on. So I think Liverpool are just the miles better team. So I think if we come through it, if we play well and lose by a single goal, whether it's 2-1, 3-2, 5-4, 10-9. I don't care. Like as long as we play well, that's all I want to see.
Some promise going forward, something to buy into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something to cling
100%.
on to for a long season ahead. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments through your score predictions for that Liverpool game on Sunday. And remember, if you haven't got a ticket, get yourself down to Free Island to watch the game here on the big screens. And thanks again to those for hosting us for today's episode of the TMC podcast. Cheers, everyone. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and enjoy yourself.